Hi, this is James Humphrey with the Socials Productions Movie Reviews. To my left here I have Eric Rose, and then to my right here I have my man Dallas Johnson. And for this pilot episode, we're just going to talk about strictly good movies versus bad movies. And yeah, let's get into it. Me personally, I like action thrillers. There's something about action thrillers that I like most about it. And I would say my favorite movie would probably be The Town, mainly because it had all the action and drama that you would have in a typical movie. I believe it was directed by Ben Affleck back when Ben Affleck was good. Not saying that Ben Affleck was bad, but he had some bad ones in his beginning of his career. Because I can't stand Armageddon.
Well, yeah, I mean,
can't.
that's not. I don't think Armageddon really.
I know you get it. Yeah.
I mean, that's on there with that's in the time range of like Daredevil. That's the whole Jen Garner.
And
something happened in that time frame.
Yeah.
Movies died.
Yeah.
Like
movies died in that early.
And then
2000s.
he did Rangers Games, which was.
He's definitely just, I think, grown in the last the 2010s. I think.
Gone Girl.
Yeah, in
Gone Girl
terms
was
of
good.
like his actual performance and like what he's putting out there, the 2010s has direct improvement in his. Just in another one I just saw that I talked about that was just this last year that he actually impressed me in, even though he was playing a French nobleman in the Middle Ages.
What's that movie? What's the movie?
The Last
Duel.
Really good.
Right.
I thought he was great in that too.
Yeah, I didn't want to like him in that because I thought just pitching that doesn't sound right. Like he's gonna play a nobleman, a lord, in the 13th century of France. But he pulled it off, and I enjoyed that a lot.
That's good.
The Town, of course, is also a great film, and
I mean, the only Jeremy Renner movie that I really rock with.
Well, I like Jeremy Renner. I like because he did.
Not a big Jeremy Renner fan.
Yeah, he did Born Legacy, which was good. I like that, and that which really got me onto Jeremy Renner. But he did Dahmer.
yeah,
which was something I saw. But I don't think he got a lot of claps for that.
that was what year did that
Does
come
he
out?
play Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah,
he
plays
played
it.
Jeff. Yeah,
He kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
But
I need to see that one because I haven't seen that one, and I'm referencing a bunch of
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was
I
one of
haven't
his,
seen it. It didn't sound like
it was one of his earlier career movies to where not a lot of people got on Jeremy Renner till after he did, The Town. He did other few movies.
Hurt
then.
Locker's the
That
one.
was the one that.
That's what the one his more or less breakout role was.
Yeah.
The Hurt Locker, which was really good. I like Anthony Mackie too, but then Anthony Mackie does some films that wasn't good, like 999. I consider is a bad movie.
See, I haven't seen that.
It's a nice cop drama where they're doing dirty cop shit, but it just did not appeal to me with the story because they're more or less shooting a cop to get all the cops all in one location while they rob this bank and all this other bullshit. You know what I mean?
That kind of reminds me of. Have you seen? I think I've brought this up to you before. It's Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn, a movie called Dragged Across Concrete.
I haven't seen it.
It's a cop drama.
Okay.
It's like a darker version of what it's like the version of Lethal Weapon that's not funny. And but it's essentially it's just a buddy cop drama with an edge, and it's I don't know what he's got, if he's doing anything right now, but the guy who did that I always forget his name. He's written a couple novels, and he's
Stephen King.
No, it's not Stephen King, but
He has some pretty bad movies.
Yeah, he said a couple.
and then he did a movie not too long ago called I think it came out in 2014 called Bone Tomahawk.
That dude, that movie.
Have you seen that?
That's the one I was talking
Yeah.
about. Okay. No, that's the one I was talking to my girlfriend the other day about, where Chris recommended that. My brother recommended it to me, and I had seen it elsewhere, and I watched it, and it's a good movie, great movie.
Yeah.
But I texted him. I said this movie could be on silent, and I would still watch because the cinematography in that movie
Yeah,
is
it was
gorgeous.
Yeah. It I mean, on the
desert,
surface,
yeah.
it just has
Yeah.
like it looks like a conventional Western
It's
film,
savage.
and then it sort of towards the end takes a weird kind of, you don't necessarily see it going there because I mean, spoiling it, the like tribe, the Native Americans that abduct like his Patrick Wilson's girlfriend or wife in the first place, are, you find out they're just like cannibals. Like
Yeah.
they're not like some kind of historical interpretation or anything.
Yeah.
Like they're just,
Yeah.
and so it kind of veers off into this survival. It starts out as like a conventional Western and then veers off into a horror survival, almost supernatural film.
Yeah.
Um, the-
I thought what was, you said like the cannibalism in there, and I thought that was the juxtaposition of the really like gorgeous stereotypical Western, and then in my opinion maybe one of the most brutal death scenes in the world is they split a dude down the middle while
Yeah.
they're holding him upside down, and it's like, holy shit. And they don't cut away from it. Like, it's very much like they split him from ball sack and ass crack through the top of his head. Like, it's fucked. But
Yeah.
but it's like, I didn't think of it as like a fantasy, but it was like it had a cool like
I mean,
fantasy
it just,
spin to
it kind of like, going back to what you said, I mean, it starts out in a town, and then the rest is like a sort of, it looks like it could be in Arizona or Nevada
Yeah.
or New Mexico, and then it ends in a cave.
Yeah.
And so that's the part, like, no, what Western movie has a scene in a cave?
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about like a mine shaft or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like a crazy like cavern like thing that they were like crawling through.
Right.
Yeah, something to be like an alien or something like that.
I think the only real Western I've ever seen was 310 to Yuma.
Oh, great movie.
Which one? The original or the one?
The probably the remake with
Russell
Christian,
Crowe?
yeah, Russell Crowe
Okay,
and
yeah,
Christian Bell.
yeah, yeah.
But then I don't consider it a Western movie, but I really like it. Was Cowboys and Aliens with Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig.
You like that movie?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, see, I haven't. That's one of those movies I didn't even attempt to watch. But
Really?
What I mean?
I mean, it's based on a comic book. It's based on a comic
Yeah,
book.
I know that.
And it's just about aliens and cowboys and shit. You know.
That's. I mean, what happens?
Well, that's what it's about.
Well,
It's about westerns.
So, I mean, is like the action like
The
interesting?
action's good. The action's
Okay,
good. I mean,
so-
it's more or less like James Bond meets Indiana Jones, but I mean,
I remember wanting that movie to be good and then watching it and being really let down.
yeah. Well, you said wanted something to be really good. The movie I want it to be really good, and it was fucking terrible. With James McAvoy.
Yeah,
The curving bullets thing was nice. I like that concept, but it veered away from the comic book so much that it was so bad.
See, and I've never read. Have you
Yeah,
read?
I haven't
Wanted?
read the so I haven't read the source material.
yeah, I read the comic book. Comic
Yeah,
was
and
really,
I like
really
Mark
good.
Miller. I've read some of his other stuff.
Kick-Ass was good.
Yeah, Kick-Ass is decent. I think. I haven't seen the second one.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but the first one I remember seeing it in theaters. Thinking
Yeah.
it was, it was okay. What?
I feel like people wanted me to like that movie way too much. Everyone wanted me to like it a while. And now I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
I don't think it's aged that well, to be honest. Like, I remember when it came out, everybody thought it was great, but
Yeah.
I mean, now I don't think it's. Is anybody watching it, talking about it? Like,
No.
It was super like 2009. Like it was
yes,
very
it was
like
exactly.
right in that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Today,
like
that
referenced bands that
if
were
that
like,
came out today, like if somebody tried to pitch that movie today, I don't think it'd work, because again, like you said, that was such a 2009 movie.
Yeah.
That sort of weird interim before the 2010s.
It had potential.
Speaking of movies that you said you didn't expect them to be one thing, it got me thinking about. Dang it! Of course, I'm gonna forget the title of it. Skip me, never mind. It's just,
We're gonna skip
yeah.
him.
What? So is it on me now?
Nah, we're just
come up
talking.
No,
film.
it was like, it was a.
What's it about?
It starts out as a World War II movie, and then there's like zombies and shit like that.
Oh, you talk about Wolfenstein.
No.
No, that's the game. That's I know what you're talking
With the
about.
guy from the sequel
It
to.
came out like what in 2018 or
Yeah.
17.
Well, I guess it was that bad that you can't remember.
No,
the name
it's-
of it. Is it good?
I know what you're talking about, but I still haven't seen it.
Castlevania. No. I don't
No,
know.
that's.
I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there.
Yeah, I kind of want you to look that up because
I'm
now
going to,
I need
'cause it's
to
a great
remember the
movie.
name of that.
I haven't seen any good movies. Oh, okay. Well, I've seen the Batman.
See, I've heard. First of all, why does that movie need to be 3.5 hours? Isn't it like, or maybe it's not
It's pretty 2.5.
It's
I saw
2.5.
It's 3. It's exactly like 2 hours and 59 minutes, and it's
Why does that need to be?
it's a
that long?
good movie with bad things in it.
Overlord.
Overlord. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the name of the
yeah,
movie.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay.
I'd like to.
No, honestly, it's great, and the reason I didn't watch or I didn't like read the full description.
Yeah.
It just had good reviews, and I knew the main guy from he's in the spiritual sequel, as they put it, to Days of Confused, called Everybody Wants Some,
Mm-hmm.
and all I read was World War II, and I was okay, this might be good, and I watched it, and then but it starts out as it's basically about the guys who landed, and they had to get information about some invasion that would have like thrown off D-Day, and so I'm like, oh, this is pretty like standard World War II, and the acting is great, and the special effects are phenomenal. Nobody was like too over the top as a soldier or anything, but then it turns into it's a zombie movie. It basically takes on it goes into that there was that one doctor, that Nazi doctor, who
Mangala.
and
Yeah.
he did a lot of crazy experiments, but it's basically about this. It turned into a zombie movie, and I had no clue. I was like, what the hell? But out of nowhere, but the whole movie, but it's great because it all works really well. It's still like, but at the end of the day, it's still like a World War II drama movie. But yeah, it just turned out to be something that I really didn't expect, and also I had no clue that zombies were in it going into it.
I say my favorite zombie movie would be the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I thought was really, really good because it's like
the Zack Snyder.
the Zack
thing?
Snyder, because
Yeah.
that's like, to me, that's like the first zombie movie where zombies were like running after you and chasing the shit out of you to eat you instead of that whole slowly walking around bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, okay, there was a Land of the Dead, which was.
Is that one with John Leguizamo in it?
Yeah, I think he's in it.
Yeah, well, the zombies were
Well,
like...
it was made by George Romero, who did.
Yeah, but is that the
original
one where
Night
the
of Living
zombies are
Dead.
like thinking and shit, and they can like pick up guns and shoot
Okay,
you
so
and shit?
the one, not Night of the Living Dead, not that one, but
Mhm.
obviously the one from like 1969. But the, or was it 70? I don't know. But the one that came out in like 2002, 2001 or something like that, they eventually, the zombies start like picking things up and using tools, and some of them can think, and they run fast. But it also like it imagines like a society's or parts of society that are acclimated to living with zombies. So like in the beginning they have like there's this place where all these people live, and they like have zombies chained up that they like feed and stuff like that and use for different things. And then a bit so have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, if you're really interested in zombie movies, which I'm not, but
Look,
some of
Dawn
the
of the Dead, I think, came out in like 2009 or something like that, and that's the same
Dawn of the
time.
Dead. That came out in like 2004.
Did it? I guess it was. Anyway, it was
Or
around.
2000. That came out before 300.
It was around
and he
that
did
time.
300 in 2007.
It was around that time where all those shitty ass Resident Evil movies were coming out, and
yeah. I've never seen a single one of those
I
beginning
wouldn't.
to end.
They're all bad.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
They're all bad.
I wouldn't. They're.
Do they even have anything to do with the video games? Because I don't like.
Yes
I'm
and
not
no. It's like
I
they
don't
put the
know.
characters of the video games in there, but they have no real character or relevance to the movie.
Okay, because I've never actually played the games thoroughly either. So
You're
I
killing
don't-
me, Dallas.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
You're killing me.
zombies aren't. I don't. I mean, there's what's the
They're scared. They're scary.
yeah they are scary, but I think I mean to me Bone Tomahawk is the closest thing to like a zombie movie I would like.
Okay.
And that's more, but they're more cannibals. Have you? Okay, I also like Planet Terror. I like.
Planet Terror was good.
Yeah.
That's only because it's Robert Rodriguez. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
He
And
makes good movies.
and just so I mean, Once Upon a Time in Mexico is pretty bad.
Yes, that is true.
That like
Desperado was good.
Desperado's decent.
But that's been back when Antonio Banderas was good.
Yeah.
Now he's just
What
Yeah.
happened?
yeah. Directed DVD movies.
But the thing
whatever.
about Planet Terror, I actually I like. Now, if we're gonna get on Tarantino, like I like Death Proof more than Planet Terror, but honestly, the fake trailers attached to those movies were better than the movies themselves. Have you seen? You know what I'm talking
Marvel-
you
about?
talk about like Machete and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
and I also think, but the one that you talking about Overlord and World War II zombie stuff like that, the one that Rob Zombie directed that was the fake trailer attached to that, the Werewolf Woman of the SS or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? You remember the fake trailers that they made when they
I don't remember the Rob Zombie one.
Nah.
Rob Zombie directed one of them, and it has like his wife in it. Nicolas Cage makes a cameo in it, and it's just a trailer for this concept of a film of like Nazis and werewolves and all. It's a throwback to a genre of exploitation films from the 70s called Nazi exploitation. Like there's black exploitation, car exploitation. One of them was Nazi exploitation, and it very much is just a derivative of the women in prison film subgenre. But it was just high exploitation, like torture, lots of like sex, lots of just with lots of big chested women with like blonde women with
Yeah.
there's a famous character, Ilsa Isla or something like that, of the SS, and there was like a trilogy of films about her. But that, I mean, I know this just back when I went through this phase where I was really interested in grindhouse movies and exploitation films and all that, and anymore I can't sit through like a single one. But although, see, there's a different, you don't like, there are certain blaxploitation movies that I like that you don't like.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about the other day.
Cleopatra Jones and
No,
you talk about the ones with your girl
Grier.
Pam Grier in it. The Foxy Brown and all.
Yeah, I still like Fox Brown. I think that's actually just a good movie. Not even as an exploitation film. I think it's a solid movie. And it's funny. Which is really what why that's probably was the strongest genre of the exploitation film subgenre. Which leads into probably our biggest disagreement is
Go ahead.
Jackie Brown. Which is like
It's so bad. I mean, it's
Arguably-
good. It's good.
It's the only Tarantino movie I can't really fuck with.
It's good, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's as good as any of his other films. Like even though
because it's slow burning. Like it's very. He described that movie as like just a hangout movie. Like it's
like a movie you can get high to.
yeah.
and be
The
good.
mood is supposed to be very like subdued the whole time. Like it's just kind of conversation going back and forth. Where unlike Pulp Fiction, which is really like everything is kind of moving towards like a climax. That's really obvious.
And
The thing is, I mean, Jackie Brown is that way too. His films all have that structure. He just
really a climax to
well, yeah,
Yeah, I know that's my thing. It's like
It does.
like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, for instance, is a slow burn movie, and I would watch that whole long ass movie.
With all
for
the useless
end-
dialogue
just
and
for the
everything in
end
it.
scene with that fucking flame.
Wait, so do you like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
yes,
Okay, see, but I think that's his best movie yet, and that is, in terms of like tone, I think most similar to Jackie Brown.
yeah,
Those
but
are his.
there's no like what happens at the end, Jackie Brown.
No, to be sure, I mean the payoff at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the biggest in all his film. It
Yeah.
it to me was up there with and that's the thing that made Once Upon a Time in Hollywood so great is like like I said, in terms of tone and it just being like a hangout movie, it's most like Jackie Brown, but I think it's like the natural progression of what he was doing since he did since Inglourious Bastards, which is a historical revisionism, and then but playing with audiences like knowledge of history or lack of knowledge of history to then create some scenario that is a big payoff. So in Inglourious Bastards, it was like, and he specifically said this, it was he wanted to make the audience excited over violence, and he did that by killing Nazis, and then at the end they're killing Hitler, and he's like, the idea was to make the audience reflect on how much they're like wanting violence. They want, because you do, I mean, you're coming into that movie, you should be wanting the Nazis to lose. And so,
Yeah.
My experience of that movie was a little different though, because I saw it younger, and I'm like, I was like off put, like how, because I was like, not like I was like bummed that they shot the fuck out of Hitler. I was like, that was dope, but I was like, wait, that's not how it went down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's his
but that's
historical
kind of
events are just all wrong.
But that's what, okay, but that's the point,
Took me a
because
second to get it.
it's like he's still making a movie. He's not trying to tell history. He's trying to tell history, and then at some point go in a direction where he's telling you this is what a movie can do. And that's exactly what that is exactly what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about. It's about literally in the title. It's a story. It's a fairy tale. Taking real life, which never is as good as, at least in the mind of Tarantino, as the movies. And that's what and so we all know what happened in real life, the tragedy of the Manson murders,
killing them people. Yeah.
to the point where it's like a cultural obsession. But the point of the movie was not to tell that story. It was to say, what if? What could have happened?
Yeah.
And the idea is that movies don't reflect who we are. They reflect our aspirations. They reflect
Okay,
what
thinking of
we
it
want
like
to be,
that,
our dreams.
you know, I kind of see it being a little bit better, but my biggest problem with that movie was all of the just useless dialogue. It was like 3 hours and 30 minutes of just useless dialogue.
Because
I mean, it had action in the end of it. Good, great. And then they had the whole little Bruce Lee thing and blah this and blah that. I just don't like pointless scenes in movies.
you could make that argument for all of his movies, though.
Yes, but at least
Because the dialogue is what people like about them, though.
Yeah, but think of
Are you
it.
talking about Jackie Brown right now, or Once Upon a Time in America?
We're talking about Once Upon a Time in America,
Okay.
but think of it compared to Reservoir Dogs. Like Reservoir Dogs had a lot of dialogue, but even all that dialogue in that movie made some sort of sense. All the scenes made some sort of sense.
But the best scene in the whole movie is in terms of what it adds to the plot, arguably the most useless. The best scene in Reservoir Dogs is the beginning scene, when they're all at the table, and then if they talk about Like Virgin by Madonna, and Steve Buscemi gives his speech on why he doesn't tip. That's the best scene in the whole movie, is that dialogue. That has nothing to do with the robbery
Hey,
that they're about
that
to
he
commit.
improv that scene when Mr. Smiley, the guy who's torturing them with the
Oh,
knife?
Mr. Blonde.
Yeah, Mr. Blonde. That's it. He improvised the scene when he was dancing.
Oh, when he talks
Yeah.
in the ear. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, man. That was one of my favorite
But I just-
Tarantino movies is Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, no, I
Definitely.
love them all. There's not a bad Tarantino movie.
Jackie Brown's big, man.
Yeah, so you like Death Proof more than Jackie Brown?
Oh hell yeah.
Death Proof is useless dialogue. If anything, all of Death Proof is they're just hanging out in the bar, literally just hanging out talking.
Well,
And
that's the scene though.
Eli Roth plays the guy. They're just two dudes trying to. They're not even trying to hook up. They're trying. It's the thing that's weird about Death Proof is like it's this R-rated movie, but the characters in it are so like not edgy or anything. Like they're talking about making out. Not
That's girl talk though. This is girl talk.
No, it was the guy too, because remember
that's guy talk.
where Omar Epps or whatever, Omar Doom is out. They're out in the parking lot, and he's like, "Please, can we go to the car just to make out a little bit?" And then he pulls the umbrella out and everything like that. Yeah.
Trying to think what
It's a
else.
great move though, opening the umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another, I thought of one movie was the guy seen Green Room.
I still haven't seen that
I
with
have
Patrick
not.
Wilson.
Patrick
Or not Patrick Wilson, Patrick Stewart with
Yeah.
with
and Anton Yelton.
Oh, I know the movie, but I haven't seen it.
yeah, and he's like a neo-Nazi or something
Yeah.
in it. Yeah,
Fucking phenomenal. Again, another movie that it was when a friend was in town. It was when I lived in Texas. I first moved there. I went into it not knowing it was a thriller.
yeah,
I just went into it thinking it was a movie about a punk band, and they're one of the
they
first,
essentially get held hostage by these
they
neo-Nazis.
witness a murder, and then it's all about them being held hostage at this venue. But that movie is, I thought it was crazy because of, and you guys haven't seen it, so there's like no like dialogue here, but
Go ahead.
but it was I loved it because Mr. Picard playing a neo-Nazi.
I was about to ask,
Oh
did
my-
you watch The Next Generation?
Oh yeah, I love
Okay.
Star Trek, dude.
Oh, really? Okay,
Oh.
then we'll save that for the next.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's shelve. Yeah,
yeah, because I'm interested. Yeah,
yeah. No, he did so well. I mean,
Well, I mean,
he's a phenomenal actor.
yeah, he's Shakespeare. All
Yeah,
of that.
he's incredible.
I can't remember a single Patrick Stewart movie I've ever seen, other than Logan.
He played.
Yeah,
there's-
Oh, obviously the
there's,
shitty ass X-Men movies.
No,
Yeah.
there's an action movie he played in the '90s where he has dementia, and he used to be like in it, but he actually had. Me and my brother watched it. Me and Chris watched a lot of movies together. But he plays this guy who has dementia, and he actually was like an ex-CIA agent, but he was so undercover that. Like,
And
he
this is a
got it into-
Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart movie. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. But then, and then also that movie, like I listen to punk music. I've been to a lot of like hardcore shows, and I was very like, that's a hard thing to capture, but the venue that they put it in was perfect. Like it was like they got it really well. It's
Yeah.
like one of those things you could tell they did their fucking homework on what it was supposed to look like, and it wasn't like, oh, what's a rock venue look like, and they just threw one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, I remember when that came out.
No,
It
see that one.
got a lot of
Honestly, it's
good reviews.
it's so good. It's really,
I've heard- yeah, it's
really
pretty
brutal.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Watchmen.
Oh well. All right. I mean, I think this is a good place to.
Other than like a visually good comic book movie, and I know Zack Snyder does all of his visual shit. I think Watchmen's story as itself is really, really good.
Yeah, but see, you know where I'm going with this.
Is I'm gonna hate on it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm a purist when it
Right.
comes to anything written by Alan Moore, and he famously hates Hollywood. Generally, just doesn't like movies and doesn't like any of the treatments that Hollywood has done to all his work, which they've adapted most of them at this point.
Yeah.
And I mean, I generally am like, a movie is a movie, a book is a book, and like I don't care. I can, like, for example, I like The Shining, the film. That's like in my top 5 any time of the day. I like that more than the book, and I've read the book. And Stephen King does not like the movie, or has a mixed response to the movie.
Chuck
can't-
Palahniuk said he thought the book for Fight Club was better than his book.
I honestly, yeah, I've heard that, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So it's not like I think a movie can't, whatever, that I'm against the whole adaptation process or anything, or like I'm always going to be on the side of whatever the book. But yeah, it looks good. I think they did about as good of a job as you could with the complexity of the material.
I like them. I mean, I don't know, like we're talking about it on the next thing, but I like the miniseries of The Watchmen a lot more.
Yeah, see, I like that even less. I like it because that just
Well,
kicks.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, man.
I'm sorry. I'm just a real purist when it comes
All right,
to Alan
what's
Moore.
your best gangster movie and your worst gangster movie? I'd say
Wait,
my
you're
best.
not gonna say what you love about Alan Moore? Or about Watchmen, the
Well, I said
movie,
what I
because
said.
you like the movie.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. There are discrepancies in the movie, mainly because you got this guy that
the
comes up.
dialogue just doesn't come off well.
The guy
always.
comes with all these different plans to reunite Earth and blah this and blah that, but it's
Yeah.
like you developed a device to give people cancer. You did this, you did that, and I'm like, why aren't you using all this stuff for good instead of trying to kill millions to save billions?
Well, you know
I mean?
what the biggest difference between the book and the movie is in how he. So in the movie, it's been so long I've seen it, but basically what he does is he convinces the world that Dr. Manhattan
is the bad guy?
is
whatever.
killing everybody,
Yeah.
right? Okay. In the book, he literally creates a giant squid
Mm-hmm.
that he plants in New York, and it convinces the world that there's an extraterrestrial invasion. And I remember when the movie came out, and everybody was on the hype for it. Which, by the way, the movie did not make a lot of money when it came out. I mean, it made over its budget, but not that much. Remember, it came out the same year, or no, it came out the year after The Dark Knight came out. Okay, which I mean, changed everything.
Yeah, you should have fucking waited another 10
Yeah,
years.
but and it, yeah, I mean, I remember everybody who liked the book and liked the movie saying, "Oh, I don't see it changing the implications of the story." But to me, that changes everything, because then he's brought in this whole idea of extraterrestrials, whereas Manhattan already existed in the universe, and so his potential to be an existential threat was always there. Whereas in the book, like I said, he creates this squid monster tentacle looking thing that is completely novel to the characters in the world in the universe of Watchmen. And that's did you know, I'll say that, okay, did you know, because the graphic novel was such a huge success when it came out, there were already attempts to do adaptations of it, and at one point, I don't know, okay, I know it's true, at one point Terry Gilliam, who, do you know who that is?
No.
He's the only American member of the Monty Python sketch group.
here we go with that.
He and a filmmaker too. I'm sure you've seen something of, you ever seen 12 Monkeys with Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he directed that.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
so at one point he was attached to do the adaptation, and he had a whole different vision of it that was gonna, like, in the end they were all gonna find out that they were just characters in a comic book and stuff like that. And supposedly, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard before, supposedly Schwarzenegger at one point was attached or talked about to play Manhattan,
Really?
to play Dr. Manhattan. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
That would've
Being
been
all
insane.
muscle bound and shit.
Yeah, I mean, that would keep in mind this would have been like the 90s, late 80s.
Yeah, this is true.
So
Do you want to talk about his career?
Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
what are we?
Because I
gonna
saw
say?
that stupid ass SWAT movie he was in, Sabotage, with Ronda Rousey back when she was thinking she was good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
He's
then
I
made
the-
don't know if I've seen a Schwarzenegger movie beginning to end other than The Terminator.
Predator.
Oh, okay, Predator.
Yeah.
And then the only other one I've seen beginning to end is you ever seen that movie he did with Danny DeVito, Twins?
Twins?
Yeah.
It's like I don't ask me why. It was a long time ago, but yeah, I've seen that.
I say my favorite Schwarzenegger movie would be The Last Action Hero. I love that movie as
It's
a
a
kid.
funny movie.
Anyway, you know what I mean?
True
What
Lies
about?
is great.
Yeah, I was gonna say True Lies is a
fucking
good
great.
movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it all, but I know it's a
No,
good
it's
movie.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, but it's like a typical Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, so
No,
it doesn't appeal to me.
it's self-aware. It's making
Yeah.
fun of. Yeah,
Yeah,
making
it's
fun
kind
of
of
it.
like
yeah.
got a whole meta
Yeah,
narrative about it.
it's very self-aware.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to watch a James Cameron movie, that's what I'd pick.
You wouldn't pick Titanic?
No, I
Fuck
wouldn't
no.
pick Titanic.
No. Damn.
Do you actually like Titanic?
No, God, no. I don't want to sit through 3 hours of a boat
that's
singing.
see, I can't watch.
You
Yeah,
know?
But-
And
That's
it's not that, and it's not that I don't like romance movies and shit like that. It's just, no, I'm good.
yeah, it's just-
All right, so what's a
Okay.
romantic film that you like?
Honestly,
Yeah,
500 Days of Summer.
that it's funny because I've actually seen that because I don't watch these, but I've actually
Okay,
that's
cool.
not a bad movie.
Okay.
No, I just it's not a
Holly,
genre.
Holly.
Okay.
Along Came. Yeah, that's more of a comedy though. Like
It's a movie.
it's a romantic comedy. Yeah, I guess you're right. Along,
Right.
it's funny. I was thinking about that movie lately. There's some scene.
Because
From,
Philip Seymour Hoffman, we were talking about it at.
that's what I was thinking.
Philip Seymour Hoffman doing the basketball.
Yeah.
Raindrops. Yeah.
Yeah,
You said gangster movies earlier though,
yeah.
Yeah.
and that's like
Well, I'm thinking of romance movies now.
Oh,
But,
okay, my bad.
but go ahead. What gangster movie you got?
No, I mean, which one don't? We gotta talk about.
Probably The Godfather.
You
But
don't.
I wouldn't consider The Godfather like a gangster movie though.
Mine's Goodfellas.
Wait. So you don't like The Godfather?
No, I love The Godfather,
Oh, okay.
but like I said, I asked earlier what was your good gangster movie, good and bad gangster movie. I'd say my go-to gangster movie would be The Godfather, but I wouldn't consider that like a gangster movie though.
Mine's Goodfellas.
How is Godfather not a gangster?
I mean,
movie?
it is,
It is the gangster movie.
but at the
Like,
same,
I don't-
According
it's
to
it's
the-
a family movie.
No, yeah, according to the
It's a family
the
movie.
Mafia, it's the most accurate portrayal.
Yeah. But Goodfellas is good though.
I mean, yeah, for me, it's either of those. But I honestly, for me, like my favorite gangster movie right now is still The Irishman.
Irishman. Was
I
good
thought
shit.
that was.
I thought it was a little long though.
That's actually what I liked about it. Because Scorsese's not like he usually doesn't do excessively long. Like I mean, he does all over the map. He has
Yeah.
2-hour films, 90-minute films, and
Yeah.
then 3-hour films.
Yeah.
I thought this movie like managed to pull off the idea of it being so long is this movie's like an epic, you know,
Well, I understand telling-
generation spanning gangster movie.
I understand telling a really, really long and full gangster story,
Yeah.
but it's like
Boring.
it gets boring.
See, I thought this is one movie that is because I'm not as like I don't have the attention span I once did, and so it does take a lot for me. If I'm going to sit down and watch and I watched that movie beginning to end the night it came out. I loved every minute.
Like
of
The
it.
Wolf of Wall Street is a long movie, but I was at least entertained enough to stay into the movie.
That's how I feel, and I love The Wolf of Wall Street. But that's exactly how I feel about
The Irishman?
The Irishman, yeah. I think The Irishman is like the perfect. Like I think if you look at essentially Goodfellas, Casino, and The Irishman as almost like a trilogy, it is the perfect like ending to that. Like the two strongest are the first and the second, or the first and the last, and then Casino's the weakest out of the three, but it's still a great film. And Casino's long,
Yeah.
but
I can't get away from fucking James Wood. Looking, he looks at his goddamn cue cards the
Yeah.
whole time, and once that shit got pointed, I can't unsee it.
wait, what are you talking about?
He looks at cue
He has
cards.
cue cards.
And it's in the movie,
Dude.
He's
there's
like
a
he's like sitting there.
The
And he's
scene
like,
he's on the fucking phone with the girl. He's going. Yeah. And
How do you know that? So is there like a YouTube video that points this out or something?
I read about it somewhere.
That's interesting.
Dude, rewatch it.
Yeah,
it'll,
I
it'll,
guarantee. Yeah.
A non-Scorsese mob movie though that I really like is Donnie Brasco
yeah.
with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
I like the portrayal of the character that Al Pacino plays. The very like desperate, and then once he kind of but I mean it's Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Have you speaking of Johnny Depp? Have you seen Black Mass?
Yep.
Actually, not a bad movie.
I rewatched that recently and really I saw it the first time in theaters and I watched it the second time at home and I really liked it the second time.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, same thing. I haven't seen it the second time though. I did
Rewatch
see it in
it
theaters, and I didn't. It didn't. The thing about Black Mass is like it had the talent in all departments, like the acting and everything. I felt like it didn't know what it wanted to do tonally. Like I felt like it was too dark. Yes, I get it. It's but like Scorsese's movies, like Goodfellas has the whole soundtrack is pop music from the 1960s, you know, and it's very like it's the dialogue, everything. It's like the tone it sets, the general atmosphere is more like elevated, whereas Black Mass was just like beginning to end just real dark and gritty and like I get it. Like, you can go that way, but I don't know. For me, it doesn't always work. If you're going to set a dark and aggressive tone, it has to be compelling all the way through. And I just felt like it should have gone the other way. I felt like it should have been
didn't
tipped.
feel like, I guess I can see what you mean.
Or what I felt like is it was uneven. Like, sometimes it would try to be, it didn't know exactly what kind of a movie it wanted to be.
It didn't quite, if it was going to be as dark as it was, it didn't drive it quite as dark as it needed
Yeah,
to be.
or they would like balance it with a scene that I felt like was out of place. Like, for instance, when the FBI guy, I forget, is it Joel Edgerton who plays? I don't know. He's listening to the wire, and they get the evidence they need, and then he starts like celebrating. And it goes in slow motion. And it plays this like pop song or whatever.
It's
Like,
super lame.
yeah, I felt like either the whole movie should have been that, or that shouldn't have been in there at all. And I don't know, it just like, because I wanted so desperately it to be like really, really good because of just the idea of this legendary Irish American gangster, Whitey Bulger, being played by Johnny Depp. Like, that's a really compelling pitch right there.
I just want to see Johnny Depp do anything other than those Tim Burton movies because I can't stand those.
Well, he hasn't done a Tim Burton movie in,
It doesn't matter. It's like I
years.
just want to see him do something other than a Tim Burton movie.
I don't know, what's the last Tim Burton movie? I think Dark Shadows was the last
I don't know. I don't keep up
collaboration
with it
he had
because
with
I
Tim
don't watch
Burton.
those movies.
What is Tim Burton even doing right now?
Nothing. He's probably enjoying all of his money from all the goddamn Tim Burton movies he's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, fellas, we're going to go ahead and cut this episode short. Stay tuned for the next episode. I think we're going to talk about TV series or some shit like that. And we'll see you then. Check it out.